Happy New Year to everyone, and I'm making this. I'm actually making this video just before the first, but I'm going to be sticking it out between midnight and 1 o'clock. Anyway, this is from an article from the Mail Online, and the title of which is "Meet the Men Who Hate Women So Much That They Have Vowed Never to Sleep with Them Again." Subheadings: MGTOW, or Men Going Their Own Way, is an online movement attracting men who believe that men are victims in relationships. Well, I'd more say it's talking about men who are victims of women in divorce. But anyway, the community's forums are rife with sexist discussions on topics like why women are getting fatter. Well, they are, that's a fact, so that's not sexist. And claim women keep men from their potential. Well, they do these days. And how many articles have I read in the past? I read one earlier on today about how women they're going solo and think that they're MGTOW until all of a sudden they discover too late, albeit too late, that they want to have children. And previously they thought that a relationship with a man and children would hold them back in a relationship, and then they realise when their biological clock eventually ticks down on them that they made a huge mistake. But anyway, women know best, let's face it, they always do. And this is by Valerie Siebert for thedailymail.com. Men who have sworn to never sleep with another woman after deciding that men are victims in relationships have their own online society. I should point this out that this is from just last year, and of course MGTOW has grown enormously since then, and it's going to grow even bigger in 2018. MGTOW, or Men Going Their Own Way, is an online movement that has attracted thousands of anti-feminist men who have decided that women are more trouble than they are worth, and in fact are holding men back from reaching their potential. Well, being anti-feminist and being anti-female are two completely different things. Feminists not only don't represent women, they hate women's guts. Anyway, scouring the community's Reddit thread, which has over 15,000 subscribers, and the MGTOW.com web forums, readers can find topics being discussed that include everything from the craziest women you have ever dated to why women are getting fatter. The men subscribing to the ethos of the movement believe that they are fighting for male sovereignty against women who would otherwise treat them like a disposable utility. Well, that is how women treat men these days. And as far as male sovereignty against women, no. How about a nice level, equal playing field in the divorce courts where shared custody was the norm rather than something that's highly unusual, certainly here in the UK and in most other countries in the Western world as well. However, that description attracts those with a lack of respect. Respect is earned, and when you see the hatred that women have for men absolutely everywhere, then it's pretty difficult to respect them. Or even an abject hatred of women that not only pervades its forums, but is even spelled out in the history section of the website. There the writer argues, incorrectly naming Time magazine as a source, while linking to an article reporting on the facts of a British medical journal published study, that because men have been proven to take more idiotic risks than women, that this is why they are more successful than women in the history of invention. No, men just work hard. I mean, you look at Edison. How many bloody times did he, how many experiments till he actually got the light bulb right? No, men are just greater inventors and builders. And you know, I'd love to take women like this who write this is bloody rubbish and just dismantle everything that men have ever built. I'm not going to go through it all because you know what I'm talking about. Bridges, jumbo jets, computers, whatever. Hand a stone and a stick and say, look, bitch, there's some soil, some trees, there's a lake there, some mountains. You go and build a jumbo jet, go and build a building, go and write wherever the hell you're writing this from, build the whole damn thing. It was even a feminist who suggested that women would be living in mud huts if it weren't for men. No, they'd be swinging in fucking trees. Anyway, she continues, he even relabels the wage gap as an accomplishment gap. I'm not even going through that. We all know why there's a wage gap, and it has nothing to do with discrimination, and the Daily Mail knows it, along with the rest of the entire Western world's mainstream media. Whether this writer knows it or not, I have no idea, but O'Rag definitely does. He complains that men are no longer revered or respected on the most basic level for their contributions and past sacrifices, and should therefore avoid relationships with women entirely. Well, that's absolutely correct, but at the same time, the entire Western world's media and the women who follow it expect to be not only respected, but also revered, while simultaneously urinating all over men. Metaphorically speaking, of course. Despite the movement's championing of bravery as masculinity, it hides the identity of its founder or founders by claiming its history is too convoluted and goes back too far to document, and even compares its rise to the discovery of fire, adding that perhaps feminism is gasoline. Well, feminists started this whole damn thing. In fact, the members of the community do not see feminism as a movement for equality. It is not, but rather something that infringes on the rights of men. It does. And I've got absolutely sick and tired this year in particular of listening to people argue, trying to debate me in the comment section of other people's videos, saying feminism is to do with the promotion of equality of women in political, economical, and blah blah, social, whatever, and that's a dictionary definition. I mean, what does it say after communism? Does it say something about, I don't know, collectivization or the shared wealth of the blah blah blah, or does it tell the truth and say a twisted totalitarian ideology responsible for the murders of over 100 million fucking people? Dictionary definition. My fucking ass. Always use the communist comparison if some dumb bitch or some dumb white knight tries to confront you with that one. Users in the forums rage against career women, but also spew bilious prose about women they perceive to be gold diggers. Yet it's called hypergamy, and surveys have shown that most women admit that they want to go with a man who has more money than themselves, which is going to become increasingly more difficult for them as they become more qualified. Anyway, men brag about dumping women who prove themselves to be feminazis. Well, yeah, you should dump a feminazi like toxic waste. In fact, you should never be with the bitch in the first place. And blah, 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 blah. Some of the topics boast such titles as, the state exists only to transfer your money to women. Yes. And the domestic abuse, yeah, it does that through the divorce system. And the domestic abuse machine as an apparatus for men's enslavement. Well, I'd say domestic abuse industry, domestic violence industry. And I'll leave a link to this this article in the comments section, pin it to the top, and I'll also leave a link to it's a huge number of domestic violence surveys that have been collected from all over the world by a guy, Martin S. Fiebert, who I think is a professor at California State University. So if you're ever in doubt, or if you're ever taken on by a feminist on domestic violence, then just refer to those surveys, and it's a long read, but it's well worth it. Anyway, sorry, I'm on my second bottle of wine now. This is beyond the fat shaming, slut shaming, and even age shaming that is rife throughout the site. Its users also seem to align themselves firmly with the so-called alt-right. I don't even know what the fuck the alt-right is. I keep hearing suggestions that it's Nazis and fascists and whatever, and literally Hitler and God. I mean, I don't belong to it. That's if it even exists, other than in the minds of the left wing who invented it during Hillary Clinton's twisted campaign. The website even has instructions for how members can reach certain levels, borrowing a plot device from the movie The Matrix, blah blah blah, red pill, from blue pill to red pill. That's what that paragraph's about. The first level, O, apparently, or 0, I don't know what that means, sees men come to the realization that feminism is the enemy. Yes, it is, not just of men and fatherhood, but of women and the family and single, childless career women in particular, which the entire mainstream media avoid talking about, and why they can't get married, which is not their choice, it is men's. And she continues, she's talking about MGTOW here, that women are manipulative liars, yes, followed by level 1, where they decide to no longer engage in meaningful relationships, only sexual ones. Well, I thought men were sexless. Sexless was how I found this article online. I just typed in Daily Mail MGTOW into my search box, and I came up with "Were Sexless" article on MGTOW. Anyway, in level 2, even sex is ruled out. The final level 4 is when a member has become fully enlightened. However, quite ironically, despite their hatred of women, no, not necessarily at all. The MGTOW are also against homosexuality. Never encountered that. Encountered that at all. With many users blaming gay men's sexuality on feminism. If you're gay, you're gay. I mean, do your own stuff. I don't care what you do. Just what the hell's that going to... Feminists create gay men? No, I don't think they do at all. Anyway, it's at least they give a link here. Read more. Men going their own way. Like I say, I'll pin the thing to the comment section at the top. Anyway, I wonder just how long that all those single childless career women in particular and their equally idiotic mothers are going to eventually work out that the mainstream media is never going to tell them the truth about domestic violence, as in the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as far as they can ascertain it, and the terrible effect that it has within the divorce industry, because the domestic violence industry, supported in this country by the Home Office to the tune over the years of tens of millions of pounds, and how the terrible effect that has on the divorce industry with all the hysteria that the mainstream media, this goes on right throughout the Western world, they're causing this, and this is a globalist thing. It's all about the destruction of the family on behalf of the globalists, the people who actually control the politicians and who seem to have them in their pockets. How long will it be before they actually work that out? You get the women into the workplace, destroy the family, make the state, the mother and the father, to the single mother, force her into the workforce and get taxes out of her, get children into the schools so that you can brainwash them, or alternatively use them as a millstone around the necks of the middle class taxpayer, who then they break up their marriages because of financial problems. Anyway, thank you very much and Happy New Year.